Hi, welcome to BONITA'S Kitchen and thank you for joining us. Today I'm excited to bring to you a delicious recipe for a lemon and thyme cake. Now this cake only got a few simple ingredients, but of course it tastes oh so delicious. So if this recipe interests you, stick around and let's get started. So now what I'm going to do, I'll show you the ingredients. Of course, they're all there in front of you. I'll put the recipe, of course, at the bottom of our video. I got 3/4 of a cup of room temperature butter, and in my case, I nooked it and it's a little bit softer, but that's okay. I need it to be a little soft anyway. So toss that into your bowl with 3/4 of a cup, a half to 3/4 of a cup of granulated white sugar, and you could use a sugar of choice if you can't use the granulated sugar. So we're going to be just stirring that around. Cream it as good as you can, and use your mixer too if you wanted to do it with your mixer. That's fine, but just cream it around till it's nice and soft. So when you got your butter and your sugar cream like this, then you're going to crack 2 eggs. Now, I was told there's a shortage of eggs and in the States. So if that's the case and you're having trouble getting eggs, use one, or you could use an egg substitute. Now I'm just going to get a fork just to mix this together. So I just wanted to give it a little whisk around like this, just to break them up. Easier to mix in there. Unless you're using a mixer, it would be okay. So just dump it down into the bowl, and now I'm going to fold that together. So now I'm just going to just continue folding this through, and then after I'm using an evaporated milk, but you could use whatever milk you got available or enjoy drinking, but I like using evaporated milk in these types of cakes because it's got such a creaminess to it. And this is about 1 cup. You could use a little bit more depending on the texture of the cake and the batter. So I'm just going to pour just a small bit in at a time and mix it through. So I got 3 cups of sifted flour. I got 1 teaspoonful of baking powder and a 3/4 of a teaspoonful of baking soda. Now this is already sifted. I just want to incorporate that in through so that it's equally. And I'm going to alternate. I'm going to be putting in some, like I just did, some of the milk. I'm going to be putting in probably a cup of the sifted flour and fold that through. Or if you're using your mixer, just give it a light pulsing. So I'm going to toss in the remainder of the evaporated milk, and then the remainder of that sifted flour and our baking powder and baking soda. And remember, if you need more of the evaporated milk, add it in there to the texture that you want the cake to be. Now I'll show you what to do next. So you need 2 lemons for this recipe, and so just rinse them over the tap, give them a drying off, and you zest them into the recipe. You can zest 1 of the lemons or you can zest 2 of them, but you need to cut them open. I'll show you that there now in a second, and just cut them down the middle, and then if you got any stones or whatnot, just pop them out and just go over and
give it a good squeeze.
Yeah, squeeze it out as much as you can, and it should be maybe up to 1/4 of a cup of lemon juice. And I guess slowly whisk it in as well so that all of it's going in there equally and not just at the top. So I'm just going to continue on with this and I'll show you what's next. So I'm just zesting that final lemon, and I'm going to cut this one in half as well and pour, but keep a small amount of this lemon juice for doing a glaze. So, you know, tablespoonful, couple of tablespoonfuls if you wish, and have it there to the side, because I'll be showing you that after as well. So I'm just going to get these done and of course mix that in through, and after I'll show you what to do with the thyme. So I got about a tablespoonful of dried thyme. You could use the dried thyme or the fresh thyme. I like using the dry because you could, once you dry it or you buy it in store dried, you know, just infuse it again by crushing it with the back of your spatula or one of those, the proper thing of course for doing it with, or grate it, and then after toss it into the bowl with all of those delicious ingredients. Now that I've infused those, the thyme, it smells amazing with that lemon and thyme there together. And I know this cake is absolutely delicious. One day if you want to whip up before your company came, or if you want to do it for a special occasion, for sure.
Or just sit back and have a good spot of tea.
Yes, yes, and like you said, with the lemon glaze icing over the top is perfect. Now I'm going to grab my pan and show you what one I'm using. So I'm using a 9-inch spring release pan. So you just make sure when you secure it, it's locked in. You could use a bundt pan. I like using that as well for this one. I'm going to just put a spray of oil around the pan, and I'm still going to be using a small amount of parchment paper just on the joints, because I've seen that my spring release pan have leaked, so I don't want that to happen. So after you got that done, all you need to do then is to scoop this batter into. Now using a fresh thyme, it gives it that nice bright color, because you got that green is fresh and nice. But again, I'm using the dried and seasonally so. I mean, if you got your fresh herbs and such, you could use it. But it doesn't matter. One or the other is fine. So I'm just going to lightly spread this one out, and then I'm going to give it a little tap. So pretty much, now what I mean about giving it a little tap, picking it up and just giving it a little tap like this. And this will help with any of the pockets, air pockets that's in there, to get them spread out. I'm going to put this in a preheated 350 degrees Fahrenheit oven for anywhere from 45 minutes to 1 hour, or till toothpick clean. And I'm going to show you that when it's baked, and we'll get making on that lemon icing glaze. Our lemon and thyme cake is baked. I suppose I should turn the light on there. I'm going to take it out now and show you what it looks like. Oh my gosh, it smells. It smells amazing in here, Raymond. Just look. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to have a taste. So if you're using a spring release pan, slowly release it, and then take this cover off, and
don't burn your fingers.
Don't burn your fingers. Yes, absolutely, Raymond. Now what we got to do, we got to let this cake come to just about room temperature before we put the glaze over it. But what I'm going to do, while it's sitting there on the rack, I'm going to make the glaze. I'll show you that. And then we'll get pouring this over and having a piece. Yum. Okay, so I got about 1.5 cups of confectionery sugar, powdered sugar, and I'm going to put a small amount of that lemon zest in there, and I'm going to put maybe 1 or 2 tablespoonfuls of the lemon poured in. You can eyeball it, or you could measure it out. That's entirely up to you. And on the side, I got just a small amount of water just to help me incorporate all of it together. Not too much of it, just enough to be a nice consistency. So I'm just gonna spoon this together and I'll show you what it looks like. And like I said, you could use all lemon juice, it doesn't matter, or you can add a small amount of the water as well. I'm gonna put some more lemon juice in it. What a mess I'm making. What a mess I'm making everywhere.
Your creative work for me is what you're
Almost
doing.
like those advertisements of you see someone in the kitchen and they got powder all over their face and all over the counter.
Yeah.
And they're not even making anything with powder. Oh, I love it. So pretty much what we're doing is trying to create a glaze. So the glaze would sprinkle over this delicious cake. And it can have the consistency you want. I think that's nice. That's a nice consistency there. And I can see a couple of more of those stones in there, but I'll remove that. And that's all you need to do there. Yum. So now it's still hot. Just look at the bottom. Isn't that just lovely?
Brown, for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, it's still hot. I'm not going to wait until it cools, but our room temperature. I want to show you our next step because Raymond can't wait. So pretty much all you're going to do, if this was at room temperature, this glaze would stay there and it'd be lovely like that. But I would say in about 2 minutes, this glaze is going to be all melted.
Yeah.
You're not going to see it. So pretty much I'll leave some of this for that when it cools. And what I'm going to do now is cut a nice piece and show you what that looks like. It's kind of hard to wait when you make something as delicious as this cake, and I know you're going to love it. And this is a nice savory cake because you got the thyme in there, and you can experiment with other herbs too if you want to. But just look, I mean, how delicious is this? And it smells amazing. I'm going to turn this cake around so you can see it, and I'm going to put some more glaze over it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Just lovely.
That's mine, I think, isn't it?
I think it is. I think it is. I got lots of glaze still left there, so we're going to enjoy that on single pieces. I'm going to get a fork. I'm going to get a little taste. I was just going to put some more of that lemon over there, but I'm sure I got quite enough lemon in there already, even though I love it. And I mean, this is delicious. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna say, drop the fork, delicious. The taste of that thyme in there and the glaze over it, even without the glaze, it'll be absolutely delicious. You could even put a little bit more thyme in there and some more of that zest. But I'm gonna say 2 thumbs up. I can't wait for you to make it. And Raymond's gonna have a little piece here now of this cake very shortly.
Like once before you said, like, you know, take the plate and run. I'm glad you're going to say drop the fork delicious this time.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, you can't help but take the plate and run, you know, you guys.
Yeah.
Yum, cut Raymond out a slice here now. Well, I'm telling you, thank you for stopping by here today. I know we're not all sat up here in our new kitchen. We're hoping to get everything in and arranged over this next little while, but we're busy just trying to get out those videos to you guys because I know you love popping in on Sundays and having a look at the new video. We're going to do a big shout out to all of our subscribers, thanking each and every one of you for stopping by, as well as our paid members. We so appreciate your support. We'd also like to thank each and every one of you for putting in your messages, sending video requests, and of course, enjoying our videos over this past 10 plus years. I'm going to leave the recipe posted below this video. You can also visit our website, www.bonitaskitchen.com, and join our page. I know it'll tell you to resubscribe each time, but you don't need to do that. You can just X out of it. We'll send you our newsletter each week. Visit us on our Facebook page at Bonita's Kitchen or
And
Bonita's
of course,
Kitchen.
any questions?
Any questions, send us an email at bonita'skitchen@gmail.com, and we would love to help you find the recipe you're looking for. So that's it. I'm going to say it's as good as it gets. We're not going to take any more of your time because we surely know it's precious. On behalf of myself
And me, of course.
and our team, and from our kitchen to yours,
You
thank you for
have-
joining us, and you
Have a wonderful day.
Oh my gosh, Raymond. I'm going to pass this to you, or we can sit down and have a cup of tea.
Alrighty. Toodaloo.
Not too bad, right?
Just two thumbs up. I'm going to have to get you some tea.
Yeah.
Bonita's Kitchen to yours. Bonita's Kitchen. To yours.
Take the plate and run. And don't forget to join us again on Bonita's Kitchen.